Good evening.
Hello.
Nicola isn't silent. Yes, she can speak. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Yay! Welcome to episode 125 live. We've not hit record on our phones just yet. We're going to do that in a minute, so you get to see a little bit more behind the scenes, a little bit more warts and all. But comments are coming in. 45, 47. Our audience is growing. I don't expect it to be particularly massive tonight, and understandable because Nicola Headland Bake Off. What's that? Bake Off final, apparently. So unless you can do both, we can be on your iPad or your phone while you have it on the TV. If you can multitask, I should say, then maybe you can do that. So hello to everybody saying that they're excited, like Susie Bannon. So very excited.
I know. I was about to say, because you've just shown me how to see the comments at the same time. Revolutionary. Yeah. So this is exciting. I can see everybody saying hello.
You never knew you could do that. You just thought it was a private chat tab, didn't you?
No, you just click on the comments.
Okay.
How did I?
And we're all sorted. So Nicola's been getting her coughs and her sniffs out. She's been getting her blips out for the lads. Get your blips out. Get your blips out. Get your blips out for the lads, Nicola. And she's got all her sniffs and blips out of the way.
There'll probably be some still, won't there?
Of course it will be. And then other comments. Look, they're all pouring in. This is what happens with a bigger audience. If it gets bigger, it gets a bit larger. Thank goodness Nick Nudge will be here. It'll be professional. No, we don't want it to be professional. We want it to be unprofessional, Emma Shaw. I've also got you know who on my lap. She's insistent on sitting on my lap all the time, all day. Dolly Bears. Thank you very much. But Dolly's just down here. So I've got one mic to the left of me. I've got my phone to the right of me. Goodness, it's all going on. Technically trying to pilot this, trying to go through the comments.
I'm addicted to the comments now. I didn't think I'd be able to go to the show notes. I'm just like, there's so many comments coming in. I'm just watching them all.
Heads up to everybody that the arbitraries, I said, please don't give us the arbitraries on Saturday. I will give you another heads up later in the show. I wanted to say, I don't think the comments have the capacity to have loads and loads of words. I think 200 character limit to what it shows. So if you do give us your arbitraries, just remember, consider that you want to try and keep them relatively brief. Now, Helen Reese, I know it's really hard work for you to do the brevity, but let's see if you can do it. But honestly, yeah, if you really try and narrow it down, otherwise you may not be able to see it on the screen. Anyway, let's have...
Funny, your internet is not great.
Am I going bad on the internet?
Yeah, we keep getting a frozen screen of you like going like that or something, which is amusing, but not very helpful.
No, it's not. It's really frustrating. So is it doing it still? It happened to me yesterday. I don't know why. Bev turned things off on the Wi-Fi. If you're having a struggle to hear me, it's not great. It's annoying.
But yeah, look on the comments. Potato internet.
Yeah, potato internet. Yeah, I don't know why it's happening. We had, if you can hear us or see, we had a BT engineer come out last week and was meant it's been perfectly strong all day. I don't know why it's doing it now.
Not good advert for BT.
Am I still born? Well,
yeah,
no,
you just
they own all the. But you can hear me.
Yeah, you've started breaking up a little bit, but yeah, I can hear. I can get the gist of it. And anyway, we should explain to people that Danny and I will both record our own audio streams. Oh, can you see my phone there? Ready to go. Ready. So we say to each other, I'm hovering. Are you ready to record? So we'll have our own audio streams, so it won't affect the quality of the pod, even if you're a bit potatoey now.
Yeah, use the audio from the beginning. Actually, because we've gone on for 5 minutes, I was going to download this, grab the audio, put it in the pod. But if it sounds like I'm going terrible, there's no point me putting it in. So that's kind of spoiled that. Apologies, infuriating and frustrating. Susie Bannon, looks like you're doing it on your own, Nicola. Others are available. Have a bottle of Cooper's for us. I think you need to leave Nick in full control. Samson, oh, it's sad when he loses. He looks lost and lonely. Nudge, though, looks quite smug. Why is that, I wonder? Your audio is fine. My video is freezing. Loved Adelaide.
Yeah, that's it predominantly.
No,
it is. Oh, look, Bev, tech advice.
It's too late for me to switch. Yeah, but it's too late to switch into it now, I'm afraid. So, Paul Brewer, you've obviously missed the start. Did you forget the Great British Bake Off final is on right now? No, we didn't. It's because Nicola has a small child.
No spoilers in the comments. No spoilers in the comments for people that are watching it on +1.
Yep, no spoilers in the comments, please. But Nicola does have a small child and Nicola bedtime, so therefore we have to work around Nicola, I'm afraid. And then, good morning. My arbitrary is managed to dig up new potatoes from. No, Elizabeth Shazam, keep your arbitraries for later, not now. Gabby, the audio is okay, the video is worse. Okay, that's fine. I'm just going to record the pod anyway. As long as you can hear me okay, Nick, yeah? And the most important thing is Nicola can hear me, that we can get recording. So, yeah, like you say, we record on our phones. I put it within some cushions so it makes the sound a little bit more softened, so it doesn't bounce off the walls and less echo. Right, is everybody happy to watch us record this show? Find some earphones can listen to now. Alison King watching Bake Off, says Julie Patterson. Go ahead, go and watch the Bake Off. I know that's. I mean, I understand we didn't deliberately try to audience of millions. We don't have that. That's priority. I mean, you can watch, you can listen to the pod at any particular point. That'll be coming out in the next couple of days. You can dip in and out, or just have both on. You can just have put the subtitles on, whatever you want to do. But yeah, unfortunately, this is the only time which is convenient for us. Right. Are you ready, Nick? Yes?
Yeah, should we switch over to the show notes? I'm hovering.
Yep, let's go over to the show notes. Fantastic. Okay, so this is how it usually works. Are you ready, Nick? Yes, you are. We do our coughs and the sniffs and the blips. And then we do a 3, 2. Are you ready? Are you giggling? What are you doing?
I'm ready. I'm waiting for you. Come on.
I think you're delayed as well. I think it's a delay in the internet. The internet, honestly, has been perfectly fine all day. That's frustrating. Anyway, 3, 2, 1, record.
I'm recording.
I'm recording. There we go. So right now, podcast element. Right, let's go into this, and this is how it works. They're trying to do both things at once. Right then, Nicola, go ahead. Silence, and then I edit all this stuff out, and then Nicola's going to start us off.
We are live once again. Now, I almost couldn't be here because I have paid too much attention to you, Danny. So I signed up for Netflix and I spent the past 2 days watching The Queen's Gambit. It's excellent. I watched one and then I had to watch to the end. So thanks for ruining my life, Danny. I am now a TV addict and I now need more recommendations. So this, Danny, once in a lifetime chance to get me up to speed and out of my oblivious hippie world that I live in.
Did Al have a Netflix subscription? Were you both clear of Netflix?
No, both clear of Netflix.
Both clear of Netflix. There is a delay with you and I in this recording, isn't there? Because we're live on StreamYard. Is there a half a second delay with me speaking?
Maybe I just think you're thinking.
No, I think
Danny's being extra thoughtful today.
Anyway, yeah, so maybe you will come out of your hippie world. So yes, maybe so. Who knows? I'm glad you watched the Queen's Gambit. It is excellent. It's brilliant. Yeah, I haven't seen anybody give or say a bad word about it. It's well worth the investment.
It's amazing.
On its own. Yeah, it really is.
I'm halfway through The Last Dance, though. That's not as good.
In terms of a sports documentary, yes,
well,
The Last Dance.
Just in terms of compulsive viewing, The Queen's Gambit, brilliant.
I think you're comparing apples and oranges there, and apples and pears. No, not apples and pears. That's the stairs. That's a rhyming slang. Apples and oranges. You can't compare the two. They're two different things entirely. Anyway, moving on, away from Netflix. News today that Parkrun Russia is coming back on December the 12th in areas that will allow. Now, I checked the daily cases earlier today, and I knew that Russia weren't doing brilliantly either. And they had 25,000, and that's the most they've had since the pandemic began. So some areas will be a no-go. I don't know where that's concentrated, but it is the largest country on earth. So I expect some events are isolated enough. It's pretty much like Australia with the Northern Territory. Of course, Russia doesn't have the density of, say, Great Britain does. So interesting to see what events come out and start in Russia at that point. And then Queensland in Australia restarts. I think this weekend, which is good news. And that's another 108 events set to rejoin. So that takes the total over 200. Feminine Cup. Welcome back to Queensland in Australia. So that's good. That's 200. That's what, 10% of the events that are currently suspended coming back. So we're getting there bit by bit. So that's grand. So yes, the live. Apart from the technical issues, my end, which I did have a bit of trouble yesterday when I was live doing down count, it's 25 weeks since we last did this. That's nearly half a year. We haven't parkrun in that time. Who would have thought we'd still be parkrunless in the UK way back then? We thought we'd be doing it once again and enjoying going out to try and avoid muddy courses and be cold and on Saturday morning and touring all over the place. But
I know, here we are. It's cross-country season. We'd be searching out those muddy park runs right now.
Yeah, maybe in a year's time. When the 150th episode comes around, crossing of the fingers, we'll be back doing some park running. Junior park run may be coming back at that point, in which case we will find out because, we'll know, because of course Junior park run may be on its way at the end of January. We shall talk about that more later in the show. And talking about return to...
Well, did you see this on Twitter, Danny?
I did.
Oliver Dowden, at Oliver Dowden, Secretary of State for Digital Culture, Media and Sport, COVID winter plan. Grassroots sports back on to help the nation stay fit and healthy. Gyms open and amateur sports back on in all areas. Kids team sport open in all areas. Some mitigations for high contact sports and adult sport indoors. But that's positive. And Tom Williams retweeted this, which is often a flag for parkrun factors.
Yeah, and Chrissy Wellington was also sharing the chat about was it the House of Commons? I think it was a committee meeting to do with that, and they were talking. I forgot which MP it was. I think it's from Blenheim and Gwent or something, the Welsh MP, and he was singing parkrun's praises. And I think there's little hints and tips and flags just suggesting, do you know what, there may be goodness and light on the
little
horizon.
Rays of sunshine giving us hope.
Absolutely. And with vaccine success stories frequently coming out too, it seems that 2021 may be a year of optimism and a return to our previous way of life. So, yeah, I mean,
fingers crossed,
going in the right direction. And I just want to dip into the comments. Guys, I also want to say, if I don't get to see any of your comments, it's because we're concentrating on the notes. Every now and then I will try and dip in. And of course, I want to see little things like this. Janet Llewellyn Reid, and we are back in South Africa, and we're back in South Australia on the 5th of December. So, yeah, all moving in the right direction down under. Hooray for you. More feminine claps there. Thank you, Nick. Right. As is always the case, we refer back to last week's pod. Lots of love for our Yes-Vember questions with people left in hysterics. Quote, hysterics, according to some. So, yes. Oh, yes. And then there is hope. There is hope indeed, says Gabby Near on the comments. Right. First up, Lucy Maris. Another excellent pod. Laugh. She questions, I thought my knickers would never dry at the idea of introducing yourself at Pushkurba for us at the next parkrun back. Hilarious. That's not something I ever expected to have to say about someone's wet knickers.
Chloe Lane, just listened on this morning's run. It was so wonderful to hear you both laughing so much to the quickfire questions. Your joy made me smile broadly, which then encouraged smiles from those I passed on the seafront. And I love this because I'm a big fan of Pay It Forward. So that made my heart happy.
Super duper. Oh, actually, and one other thing I forgot to do. I'm going to turn off the banner. Look at our names. So for the pod purposes, we have names up on the screen. I'm Intercity 125 and Nicola is 5 cubed. We're doing a 125 thing. Aren't we so clever? Geniuses. Geniuses is what we is. So, yeah. Right, Paul Dukes. Internet. Yeah, poor internet. Paul Dukes, I've just caught up and need to give you context about Zombie School. So last week he mentioned Zombie School. I wondered what that was about. He says it was a training session as myself and a park running friend had signed up to take part in and also volunteer for a live action zombie chase game in Gateshead. The volunteers had to train to learn how to channel their inner zombie. So yeah, Paul said last week he came out of his shell thanks to parkrun and Zombie School, as in playing zombies, obviously. Not like my school where I said last week it felt like all of us, the students, were being treated like zombies.
I know, you got a bit deep. It wasn't deep, it was literal.
Yeah, no, I got a bit, it was a bit of a flashback. It was like, oh, the dark days of secondary school. Oh, yes.
Therapy session with Danny.
Yeah, very much so. Right then, I'm Danny, Night of the Dead, Norman. Zombies.
I'm Nicola, all night in my bed, forward.
And today is Tuesday, the 24th of November, 2020. This is an independent show all about parkrun's pause and gradual global return. We're currently fighting bake-off for attention. Welcome to the 125th and live broadcast episode of With Hope Now. Music.
Yeah, but that's what we normally do.
Insert music here. There you go. And that gets all blanked out and then goes in the theme tune, and then we come back. So normally Nicola coughs and sniffs and does all the bits at this point. That's what we were missing. Then we come out with the music and I say, emails. Morning, Danny. The first one says, super quick message to say that the pod had me smiling to myself and laughing out loud several times on the drive into work today. Thank you, Alexander Garnett. You're very welcome, Alexander.
More emails. Hi, Danny and Nicola. Good news. Junior Parkrun might be back soon. Bad news. Due to the temporary restart age limit, my son Tom is now too old to take part. Good news! He completed over 100 at a few different events and was first finisher once, so achieved everything he could. Bad news! He is now so much faster, but won't get a chance to smash his junior parkrun PB. Good news! He can now smash his actual 5k parkrun PB instead. Good bad news! I'm pretty sure he's quicker than me now. Keep up the good work on the pod. Nothing bad comes from it. Cheers, Richard Hook, A212-8538. So for those who are unaware, it looks like Junior Parkrun is set to return soon, but the temporary age limit of ages 4 to 10 instead of 4 to 14 will be put in place to keep numbers down. We did ask Richard how old Tom was, and it turns out his 14th birthday was in September just gone, so there's still potential. So there's still potential.
So you can't make mistakes while we're live, Nicola Ford. I'm going to have to bring it up. I will do one later. I'll make a massive mistake. And
but hang on, you're going to edit these out like normal, yeah?
No, because this is raw. This is raw audio going straight into the pod.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So there's still potential for Tom to take part again and have another chance to smash his PB before he turns 15 next year. I guess the discussion of this is going to take up a chunk of the show, Danny. So tell us more about this exciting announcement.
Yeah, absolutely. So potential for juniors to return. An email from HQ came out last Thursday. A partially digested version of it is as follows. And I really did have to try and trim this down. It's still relatively quite sizable. My goodness. Oh, right, where do we start? Because I'm excited by this. Obviously, event director of a junior event. Yes, the prospect of any form of participation at a parkrun in some element, capacity. Yes, this makes me happy. So it says potential opportunity for junior parkrun to restart early 2021. With COVID-19 associated restrictions continuing to limit opportunities for children to be active, parkrun are actively looking at the possibility of supporting the reopening of some junior parkrun events in the UK and Ireland early in 2021. And always keep tabs on that word potential and possibility. That's the thing. Always try and keep your hopes at a level playing field. This announcement is information only. It said there's nothing for event teams to do at this stage. That was a bone of contention. It didn't mean don't share it, as some incorrectly interpreted it. I got a right telling off by a couple of people.
You did.
You weren't meant to share it. It's like, what? Where? Where does it say that? And it's like, well, it said here. It's like, no. It said it's information only, not only to be shared amongst event director teams. It's like that was it, as in you didn't have to do anything about it. And my goodness, anyway, the likes ratio on the comments of my comments saying that you've misinterpreted were higher than the person who misinterpreted it. Anyway,
did you have a moment of panic though, Danny, where you read the comment and went, oh my goodness, we weren't meant to share it, and go back and quickly read all the way through it?
Yep, absolutely, very much so. I went, if I made a mistake, I better go and retract, abort.
Brilliant, that would have been fun.
And I read it and I was like, it doesn't say that anywhere. And when I did that say, where does it say this? I never got a response. I never got a reply saying. Everyone said it's like, it's here.
Well, they're still looking.
I just think that their interpretation of the line that said it's information only was meant to be. But then again, of course, what was it? Within that space of time it came out, 30,000 people received the survey saying it's like this is our, I guess, general plans for January. Anyway, right. And of course, a survey. Parkrun is surveying 30,000 junior parkrun volunteers to understand the appropriateness of returning and how the volunteer community feels about that. They will be surveying everyone who has volunteered at a junior event in the 12 months prior to events being paused back in March. Now, I received it. Did you receive one, Nick?
I never check my email, so I don't know. I'm not somebody it's good to send. Probably not. I don't volunteer very much.
Oh, you didn't receive it? Okay. Oh,
no, I don't know. I haven't checked my emails.
Really? Okay, then. Or you just won't get it at all?
Oh, I don't know.
Have you volunteered at a junior event in the past 12 months prior to the
No,
start
probably
of March?
Not. Probably not.
I'm not guilt tripping you. I'm just asking.
No, I don't. I genuinely don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think you'll have it. I don't think you'll have one. No, I don't.
No, because if I'm at a junior event, I would be running with Poppy. But we have been tailed before. I don't know.
All right. Okay. You're not going to get it. Doesn't matter. Your opinion is not important.
Bothered. I'm not bothered.
It goes on to say any return would have to fit within and be subject to national and local restrictions for outdoor physical activity. Of course, it will be up to event teams to decide if and when they return. Now, this is very interesting. Assuming Parkrun is able to return in the new year, the decision to return and when to do so will sit with each event team. Due to the smaller average attendance compared to 5K Parkrun and the minimal amount of Parkrun tourism across junior events, Parkrun are comfortable with only a small number of junior events returning. In other words, it isn't necessary or compulsory for all events to return at the same time. So very different to the 5K thing. That was a big bone of contention in terms of the word mandatory, the initial release about 5K. They all had to come back at the same time. Junior to Parkrun doesn't have the same effect. I've said that before, that when events are cancelled local to Surbiton, we do not get a flood of tourists. We get a tiny amount, maybe 2 or 3. We expect a flood. We never get that. So yeah, there is definitely less tourism that goes on. Anyway, in other words, it isn't necessary or compulsory for all events to return at the same time. If and when a junior event returns is a decision for the individual event team, and Parkrun will support events in whatever decision they make. That's great. With junior Parkrun as opposed to 5K Parkrun, HQ would be comfortable supporting even just a small number of events returning, and as such, all events would be free to follow their own timeline for reopening. And the format will temporarily change to be for 4 to 10-year-olds only as walkers or runners. All age groups would be welcome to volunteer. Now, Parkrun recognises how disappointing this will be for many children and their parents or carers, and we are genuinely sorry that we are excluding some participants temporarily. However, they do explain why they believe this is the right thing to do. Now, that was a bit of a tricky thing too, because I have seen a few comments not happy about this. And I appreciate, and I think, as Parkrun said, Parkrun appreciate there's going to be a bit of a feeling here. I do go by the fact that something is better than nothing. I did reply to that effect to somebody who's very close to me, who I have a lot of respect for, who's affected by having one of their children able to take part and one not take part in a running capacity.
Oh, yeah, that's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And so, and I saw, and Tom Williams again, he gave an explanation of the decisions on Twitter, and he said you either have it in some form or not at all. And that's the case. I'd rather have something. And I was thinking about this. I was really thinking about this because it bugged me. It bothered me because I felt I wanted to come from the point of view of the adult who was going to be affected by this, trying to keep both children happy. And I think that, I don't know, as if I was a father or a parent, my mindset now would be to say to the eldest child and explain that I think they'd understand the reasons, but they could also help facilitate their siblings' participation by volunteering. So they're not excluded. They're not excluded from it. And I was like, they can still be there in some supportive capacity. So as myself, I'm thinking if I had a younger sibling and I was of that age bracket, then the right thing would be like, okay, I can be there and support my sibling, whilst I may not be able to run and get a result. I mean, I don't know. The question is, can they then, can they go around with them?
Yeah, I know that's tricky. I was thinking, do you think you're going to get like 200, 300 volunteers per event? I volunteer. Also, I had a giggle to myself when you said, if I was a father, I was like ready to say, or mother. And then I was thinking, well, no, actually, if you had kids, you'd be a father because you're male. I had a little giggle to myself when you said that. I was ready to attack.
You don't need to be automatically set to feminist attacker person.
Should I take my meat out of my bonnet?
Yes, yeah. Because if I was a mother, then no, I'm sorry, Nicola, that's not going to happen. I do apologise.
Oh,
Anyway.
Okay, I'll simmer down to a panic.
Thanks. But yes, I understand and appreciate that there's a discrepancy there. It'll be interesting to see what the behaviours are about how people are going to be involved in that respect. But yeah, I think the right thing to do would be encourage the elder child to go and help support. They'll be doing a good thing to help their younger sibling participate in exercise, and their time will come. This is important. This is very important. Now, you've put in the notes, Nicola, you said that your sentence sums it up.
Yeah, you can't please all the people all the time. And, you know, this is one of those cases, isn't it? And it's going to be the case with every step of parkrun returning. People aren't going to be happy with whatever decision, but the majority of people hopefully will be happy. So,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It then does go on to say quite extensively, and I'll try and squash this down. In the absence of 5K parkrun events, the number of registered children eligible for junior parkrun would double from roughly 300,000 to 600,000. So that's their concern. And they recognise that not all older children would attend, and it's likely a significant number would. And therefore it'll alter the profile of a junior event. And so that's why they're temporarily excluding 11 to 14-year-olds. And this change allows parkrun some element of control and enables them to mitigate some of the challenges experienced from high attendance. So this is behind their decision. And from the discussions and conversations HQ have had with third parties, they think that they're going to get local stakeholders to go, okay, significantly more comfortable giving permission for events targeted at primary school age children, because they're in classes of 30 every day. And so therefore it's more likely to happen. So moving in the right direction. And yeah, parkrun want to make it absolutely clear it's only temporary for 11 to 14-year-olds. So hang on in there. I know it feels like having an age when you're that age, like having to wait for Christmas. It feels like forever. And parkrun will be sharing more information in the coming weeks, including hosting a live Q&A for event teams across our Facebook and YouTube channels. I have no idea if that includes me. I've no idea. The immediate assumption would be, well, he did it last time. Well, either I did a bad job.
She's hovering.
Well, if I don't get brought on and they do something else, use someone else, they'll be like, okay, I must have done a bad job last time, but I haven't been notified.
Awkward.
I wouldn't be surprised. This is me being absolutely independent now. If they did do with somebody else, I would feel a bit, oh, ouch, that hurts, because did I mess up the last one? But I don't know.
This is totally now emotional blackmail.
It's their call.
Use Danny.
It's their call. It's their decision. If they don't think I did what they needed me to do in the last one, then that's perfectly fine. I do obviously bring an element to the fold in terms of my junior parkrun volunteering participation over the past 5 years. But yeah, we'll wait and see, because those will know that the StreamYard that we're using now to broadcast live, Parkrun UK are now doing it. Russ is doing it. It's still getting to grips with it, but they've taken a leaf out of our books to be able to broadcast across Facebook and YouTube. So, yeah, if they do a Q&A, I might be involved. I've no idea. I haven't heard anything. I may not. We'll find out. So,
look, I like this. Yeah, it will be if they don't use you. I like this comment. Karen Spackman's put, it's unusual for a younger child to get to do anything before an older child. Yay for the younger ones for once. So that's a good point. I like that.
There are loads of comments to go through. I'm watching the comments coming down.
I know. I just keep flicking back every now and then.
You can't do both, can you? It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Yeah, absolutely. But thank you to everybody who's putting comments. I do go through them. I always go back on videos and go through the comments as best I can.
Oh, yeah, at the end, definitely.
Yeah, just to make sure I understand what the narrative was while we're recording. I always reflect back on what the productions of what we've done. Anyway, yes, and of course there is the caveat. There is no guarantee parkrun will succeed in bringing events back in the time frame set out, but they wanted to give everyone their maximum possible notice and to be completely transparent about the steps they are taking and what they hope to achieve, which I think is perfectly reasonable and really fair. I think it's a great communicate. So yeah, feminine clap regarding it all. I think it was well done, and we'll see. Come 2021. I said it's going to be a good year. We thought 2020 would be all right. It's going to be exciting.
Don't count your chickens, Danny, but all of the fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely.
All of the fingers.
So you've got an actual junior parkrun. You're in your midst. So
I know. So yeah, as an owner of a 4 to 10-year-old, I have one of those. I'm ridiculously excited about this news. I can now vicariously live out my parkrun dreams through Poppy. I can, put on my apricot every week and pretend it's me. Hang on. I don't really mean that. What I mean is like something more like, I'm sure Poppy will be really excited to return to junior parkrun. I'm going to be there every week in my 500 top.
Well, I know she doesn't like it compared to the 5K, but like I say, you can go to Poppy.
I know.
It's something or not. It's something or nothing, Poppy. It's either.
Yeah. We'll have to see how it plays out, because she doesn't like it. Because she doesn't like to be competing against other children. She likes to be competing against a complete wide demographic. So we'll see.
Sit her down and brainwash her. And
no. You know what?
What?
The age change works in our favour because there's not going to be loads of 14-year-olds that she cannot get anywhere near. Yeah. She's towards the end of that bracket now.
Oh, there you go.
She might love it. This might be brilliant for us. Let's see.
Absolutely. Right then, moving on. Thank you for listening about the Junior Parkrun returning. We then move into the arbitraries. On Facebook on Non-Parkrun Day, we posted a smiley picture of a running Nicola, and we said, here's Nudge doing a not parkrun. I don't know why I put not twice. At Brimham Rocks, North Yorkshire.
Because it wasn't a not parkrun.
Was it not? How far did you go?
Well, no, but it wasn't on Saturday.
No, but we've been over this.
Oh, no, but not parkrun doesn't have to be on a Saturday. It's up in my head. This is why I don't log them. I just can't cope. I cannot cope.
How long was it? Was it 5K?
Do you know what? In the end, we didn't do 5K.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Simple question.
No, because, and I need to try not to swear here, we started running, and Doris, the friend that I was with, Doris Smith, running along, and her little face lit up at how wonderful Brimham Rocks is. And so I looked at her little smiling face and said, should we not run? Do you just want to climb? Bleep. And she said, I've got nobody in my life who'd say, do you just want to climb? Bleep. And so we went climbing, probably ran about a mile.
Mm-hmm. So the answer to the question, did you do 5K? It was no.
No.
Right. Okay. That's what I needed to hear. Thank you very much. Right. And I then said, for some reason, wearing sunglasses at sunrise. Okay, fine.
Hang on. Stop, Danny. Stop.
All right.
Stop. Before we chat about this, don't we need to encourage people? Where do the comments come up? Somewhere. Put your comments. We need arbitrary comments, don't we?
I said that at the top of the broadcast. Maybe they didn't hear me because of the potato internet.
No, but I thought we were going to remind people now and say, give us your arbitraries.
They've got plenty of time. They're very fast at typing.
Okay.
But make sure they're not massive. We can't look at this. This is from Gabby Nia. So that's quite a big message, and so we can get quite a bit in.
Where have we gone?
Is the arbitraries coming in now? You jumped the gun, guys. We're not to that point just yet. We're not there. Hold on, hang on, hold your horses, people. Anyway, yes, I've reminded them, but the arbitraries are coming up. Nicola, let me pilot this. Okay, we've been through this beforehand, and then we'll get to the arbitraries. There's plenty of forewarning to come. Right, sunglasses, sunrise. Why?
Well, Danny, it was actually sunset, you massive douche. So egg on your face, because not only did people come to my defence, thank you, Gabby Neer, Taylor Craft, Christopher Healy, Emma Shaw. They all said it was fine to wear sunglasses at sunrise, but it had been super sunny in the day, so I was wearing sunglasses. But as the sun was setting, then they were on my head as I didn't need them anymore. So there you go. If you weren't hidden away in the towers so much and watching Netflix and stroking your floof so much, then you might know what that sun thing is about. You might need your sunglasses.
I love stroking my floof. I'm going to stroke my floof now. She just conked out. She dreams a lot. She's a lot of dreaming. Well, sat on my lap. Jolly about. Right, so yeah, fair enough, fine. You wore your sunglasses. I still felt it looked out of place and fine. Anyway,
I mean, the sun was in the picture.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Okay, so on the post, I said, this is not a call for your arbitrary things. Why not? Because we are going live on Tuesday evening for our 125th pod. So please save your arbitraries for then, which is now. You see, Nicola? You see? Let me deal with it all.
That's not much time.
There's plenty of time.
But do you think people are ready? Like, go.
Gabby Nia has just proven the point that she's already she's waiting to do this. Okay, I write the notes, you come in, do your diva thing and swan off again, and that's it.
I need to be careful about what hand gestures I give you, seeing as we're live.
Exactly, you have to be careful.
I just smile and nod this time.
We can't do bleeping. We can't do bleeping live, I'm afraid.
No.
Anyway, I then said, meanwhile, don't forget to log your not parkruns and then a burrito emoji, because I just like burritos. Just because sometimes they're random. No bells of shame required, but we do want your arbitraries in the comments now. So yes, no bells of shame, because nobody put an arbitrary thing. Before we get to them, there was a no context comment. Yes, no context comment. Insert Helen's no context comment jingle here. Or actually after this. It's all going to sound really funny in the edit. So actually put it in after this. Helen singing, insert here. And it says, Sean Willabore, Ben and Jerry's Fish Food Dave.
I love this. And I scrolled through all of the comments to see if anyone called Dave had made a comment, but they hadn't. So I was like, this is literally the most no context comment that we have ever had.
Yeah.
Where's Dave? Dave's not even here, mate.
Why Ben and Jerry's ice cream? What is the ice cream to do with? Did you mean to apply to something else and somehow stumble onto our page and into our comments? How has this happened? Nobody knows apart from Sean himself.
I don't even think that's how you spell fish food.
It's not. It's Phish. He spelled it Fish. Yeah, it's not how you do it. Sean does tweet me on occasion, so I'm sure he'll get back to us and let us know.
Yeah, we want to know. We want to know that the correct information gets to Dave.
Yeah, Sean's a pod listener, so we know that. But I don't know why I'm talking about ice cream on the comments. Right, let's go and have a peek. Do you know where to find them, Nick? Let's go and have a look.
Oh, hang on. Dave says he's here, but I don't know. Was it you, Dave?
What? Where?
On the comments.
Dave Dalby Williams. Was Sean replying to you, Dave? Was he talking to you about fish food ice cream? And if he was,
does it mean
why was
anything
he doing
to you? Yeah.
Right, arbitraries. Do you know where do we start from?
Oh, I don't know. Where do we start? I might keep jumping around my comments.
Okay, let's start from the bottom and work our way up. See, I'm going to lose a bunch at the top. Do you know what? Randomly pick some out. I'll pick out 5. You pick out 5.
Oh, I thought you were just going to click on them. And then they'd come up and then we'd read them.
Goodness, I honestly have to do.
Danny, can you just pilot this? Can you just pilot this? Just let you pilot it. Can you pilot?
I knew that'd come back to bite me. Yes, all right. I knew that'd come back to bite me on the backside.
You click, you pilot them, and then put them up, please.
Okay, fine. People are talking about me and the Q&A. Let's try and find one for you. There we go. Callum Burrell. Super engaged Callum Burrell. Do you want me to read it, Nicola?
No, you're too late. Arbitrary post. Callum Burrell. On Wednesday, I did my
No, you clicked. Don't you click and think you can get away with that. Stop your clicking.
Don't you waggle your finger at me.
Stop your clicking before the sentences then. Carry on.
Callum Burrell posted. On Wednesday, I did my not arbitrary 100th not park run. Although he's put a space in and we don't like that. So Callum. On the 4th anniversary of my actual not arbitrary 100th park run. Large mince pie was consumed by myself and my running buddy. Super.
Yeah, not park run. There's no space after the closed bracket. You're right, Nicola. Now you've drawn me into your pedantry. How dare you make me seem so pedantic?
That pedantry is all yours. I just knew that it would wind you up.
Do you know what's really bugged me this past week? I'm seeing everywhere. What? It's your Y-O-U-R. I mean, it should be your, as in, Y-O-U apostrophe R-E.
I mean, there and they're all the same too.
Your everywhere this past week. It's just, no.
So everyone, see if you can sneak them in. That game this week. So if we tweet Danny or whatever, just sneak a your in. That'd be a fun game.
That's not an arbitrary post, but look, you made Melanie Bath laugh for calling me a massive douche. Thanks. Right, Bannon, my turn to read. On Saturday, finding it hard to have a reason to get out. I need parkrun back. Had a nice run yesterday, though, whilst listening to the pod. Laughed so much, properly needed. And then a smile emoji. Right, next one. Emma Shaw, because she's always mentioned. Why not?
I completed my 10th.
You did it. No, you did. You clicked again. You just... I don't know what it is about the clicking pre-sentence. Right. Fine.
Do you know, all I want to do is tweet you with random clicks and yours.
Just read the sentence.
Look at your angry face.
Don't click at the start while reading this.
It's funny because I know you don't get to see your angry face.
No, you don't. So I have to take these out. I take these out in the edit to make you sound... I make you sound so professional, Nicola, by removing all these
That's not
repetitions of words in the sentence. I'm just gonna, this is the raw audio. People are going to hear it all now. Right, Emma Shaw.
Are you ready? Emma Shaw. I completed my 10th jigsaw of lockdown, just waiting for the 10 milestone top to arrive.
Kerry Lathwell should have been my 100, so got out the apricot and then joined in with Park Faff.
I wore my apricot as well on Saturday. I haven't for ages, and it does make a difference. If you've got
next, Next.
Parkrun merch. Stick it on. I had to make sure I got a click in. Karen Spackman. Due to lockdown, I've seen lots of people walking as if they are on skiing holidays recently. Furry hood, big coats, gloves, and sunglasses. Oh, loving the sunglasses though.
Alison King, arbitrary. I ran at Taupo Park Run, increased my P index to 4. There were 68 runners, including our former country manager, Noel, and his daughter, Caitlin, who is ED at Cornwall Park Run. And then that's a big one. Rattle this one off, Nick. No clicks.
Chloe Lane. Saturday was my arbitrary 100 non-park run.
Right, no, stop, done. That's it. Tough. Sorry, Chloe. If you can't spell it right, we're not doing it. That's it. I'm going to...
No, hang on. Bring it back up.
No, I shan't.
Wait, Danny, because I think you might be jumping the gun. Didn't we read a post out from Chloe a few weeks ago saying about a non-park run? There was non-park run and then there was not park run and then a non-park run is on a not park run. Do you remember? I don't know if it was Chloe, but it might have been.
We're not reading it. She's not put not park run. If you can't get it right, we're not putting it up now. I'm being really
Chloe Lane, I'm very sorry that Danny has stolen your post. I can't read it out now.
I'm being a meanison. Claire Mullin did 3 parks, not park. No, okay, guess not reading your one out because you put a space after the closed bracket. Ingrid Botha, both my document and experienced park runner this week at our Park Faff Cafe. Willie from Dolls Point, the prettiest park run in Sydney. Jane Cuskin.
After a wonderful park faff, my friend wanted to try a long run and we ended up doing a spontaneous half. So proud of her on getting a sub 3 hour on her first proper half. Feminine clap for that.
Super duper. Oh no. It does this suddenly. Hang on. Ruth Robson, where's your comment? Yes, because look, arbitrary 60 seconds. Is that deliberate? She spelled not park run correctly though. Steve Robson, went round our usual 5K loop one way and 12-year-old Joseph and I ran the other way. So we could high five in the middle, just like we used to do at Heslington Park Run. And then let's have a quick
because of COVID times, my brain is like, oh, I feel the need, public service announcement, just to point out that they're in the same family, so they are allowed to high five. Like proper COVID times. Don't high five anybody. Don't touch anybody. Oh.
Next one.
Alan McDougall finally managed to do a not park run. Did you do that on purpose?
Yep, sorry, tough. If you can't spell it right, you're not going up. Right, Brian Thompson.
I've forgotten what number. You keep doing it on my ones. You keep doing it on my ones, so I seem mean and like I'm stopping reading them, but you're taking them off the screen, so I can't read them.
Them's the rules. Brian Thompson.
Do you know I don't like the pilots today?
Well, you're going to have to stick in the plane and just keep flying with me. I've forgotten what number fruit and veg. I know Danny doesn't like Okay, yeah, I don't. Sorry, Brian. That's it. Not reading that either. Right, next.
This is brutal.
Right,
Elizabeth Shaban. Oh, Elizabeth Shaban. Yeah. Arbitrary. Matthew Bennett, who is 1 away from his cow park run, did his 200.
No, it doesn't listen to the podcast, so we're not reading that out. Sorry, tough.
You're doing this. You're so mean. You know, everyone's going to get to see now who is the mean one out of the two of us. Have I even read one all the way through? I don't even know.
No, we'll go back. I'm only joking. Let's we'll do a couple more and then we'll move over.
Oh, Ruth Robson says, I can confirm I am allowed to high five my husband. And then she put a laughing face, but I feel like she should have put a winky face.
Joking. Right, read that, and we've got one more to do, and then I'm going to bring our special guest.
Oh, yay! Okay, back to Elizabeth's post then about Matthew Bennett, who's not a pod listener, but maybe we could get him on board. He did his 250th garden, not park run, or they spelt wrong, today, raising money for somebody, but Danny's taken it away again. Raising money for a head injury charity. Yeah, so that's great. So stop being mean. I'm clapping and saying massive apologies for that.
Yeah, no, I've seen the post of Matthew Bennett in the UK Park Run Tourist group very, very regularly. So absolutely credit to him and doing it and raising money in the process too. So absolutely all tongue in cheek, all very tongue in cheek. So right, and one more. I want to do one more before we go. And where was it? So this is what happens with there's so many people commenting. Tony Mallin, because she was doing Down Count with us on Monday. Super arbitrary. I wrote about people having a hard time at Christmas and it resonated with many people. You did. I think it was shared with, this is the coffee gas. This is what happens. Normally I cut this stuff out.
No,
Yes.
yeah, leave this in the podcast.
Yeah,
every
right,
week,
in.
whinging about me. Every week. Oh, sorry, gas. Oh, sorry, gas. Lovely.
Seven Bridge Park Run wrote about it, and of course, the fact that some people are feeling isolated as well. Right then. Actually, I've got to do one more because this is going to line up nicely with something later on. Jeff Hurst, I got yelled at politely by my running mate to get off the road with a laugh on the no, that's it done. It says non-park run, not. It didn't spell not park run. Sorry, I was going to read that, but then it didn't spell not park run correctly. Does Danny know the name of every pod listener? Pretty much, yes, I do. Yeah, I engage with a lot of them. I have that sort of obsessive nature. Right then. Where were we? Back to the show notes. As always,
for people watching this live, that's all right. But for people just on the audio, I'm so sorry. Today's pilot has obviously been drinking.
No, I haven't. Just coffee, caffeine.
It's been a car crash. Like, oh my goodness.
It's not my fault that we've done public service announcements that said that not park run is spelled in a particular way, and if you can't pronounce it like I, or if you can't spell it correctly like I, then I'm afraid you don't get your arbitraries read out on our live streams. But anyway, as always, we read and loved all of them with the correct spellings. So thank you very much to everyone who posted. Right, next up, we will have. This is what we usually do. Insert Elliot's jingle here. Elliot Hines starts.
Doesn't sound anything like that, but yeah, okay.
No, I know it does. Et voila! Elliot.
Hello.
Unbipentium. What's unbipentium?
It's the 125th chemical element in the periodic table.
It is indeed. That's his name on the live broadcast. Your internet's managing to hold up. We can hear you, which is good. You and I competing for most potato internet tonight. But we've got you here. Would you care to do what you did for us 25 shows ago? Unfortunately, there's no keyboard involved tonight, is there? But we'd like you to read your stats out, if that.
By all means, yeah.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Worldwide, there were 116 parkruns, and the worldwide parkrun population was 11,237 parkrunners and 1,145 volunteers. In Australia, there were 63 events. In New Zealand, there were 31 events. In Japan, there were 16 events. In Namibia, there were 3 events. And there were also 3 events under UK jurisdiction. There were 1,577 people got their parkrun barcode this week. 595 people became parkrunners this week. 58 parkrunners joined the 50 club. 30 parkrunners joined the 100 club. 1 parkrunner joined the 250 club. That was Paul McAvoy.
Feminine claps for Paul. Well done, Paul. Feminine claps.
No parkrunners joined the 500 club, and 12 parkrunners joined the volunteer 25 club. The 3 biggest parkruns worldwide were Tuggeranong in Australia, 323, Hagley, New Zealand, with 304, and Bellerive, Australia, with 294.
Yay! Nice one. And then, what do we do here, Elliot? What do we then put in? We put in a certain jingle.
Yeah, how'd it go again?
How's it go?
You're so mean. Oh, yeah, do it.
I'm not mean. I'm just such a bleep, Nicola. That's
yeah.
all it is. Yeah. How was it go? Sing it for us, Elliot. I didn't tell him I was going to do this and pressured you. He don't care about arbitrary.
He don't talk about cats. Elliot lines, not stats.
Yay! Hooray! Insert Stuart Harding's jingle here.
He can do it much better than me. The biggest UK not parkrun totals, Whitney topping the charts again with 848 not parkruns. Maidstone in second with 591 not parkruns, and Chelmsford Central with 542 not parkruns. In the UK, there were 13,331 parkrunners, recording 22,024 not parkruns, which is up slightly on last week. And worldwide, there were 19,200 parkrunners, recording 32,281 not parkruns, with an average time of 34 minutes and 18 seconds.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed, Elliot. That's much appreciated. I know it's nerve-wracking me bringing you on.
Feminine
clapping for everybody in Elliot. And I also want to give, and genuinely, because we've got you here, whilst we've got you online, I want to say a big, massive thank you, because you've been doing these stats for quite a long time now, week in, week out, with barely a break. And they are hugely appreciated. They are a massive, I think, massively appreciated resource. And it's been one of the constants. Whilst we've had parkrun paused, we've been without that continuity. But your element of continuity, that constant, as I think, has just helped us connected. It's been that familiarity. And so even like the not parkrun stats, when we didn't have any stats, of course, you were still trying to do something, and the not parkrun stats. Yeah. And so it felt like there's been less of a stopping. So I wanted to say, and embarrass you publicly, I want to say on behalf of everybody watching and everybody that's ever looked at your stats, on the discussion group, on the tourist group, on the stats chat group as well, massive thank you. So massive feminine clap for Elliot Line. I'm sure everybody will agree. That's
definitely. And just two quick things. One, Lucy Maris says we are going to need a new junior parkrun jingle from Mr. Line. Something to think about, Elliot.
No.
Look at Danny shaking his head.
No. Don't do more work for me. Don't do more work for me. But big love for you. We love the stats. Keep up the great work, Elliot. And Ian Thompson says, any thoughts on football crowds of up to 4,000 being allowed? I do have thoughts, but we're talking to Elliot Ian right now. So more love to Elliot. Love to Elliot, who keeps gets me thinking about something every week. Oh, lovely. Here, says everybody. So thank you, Elliot.
And then
we'll let you go. Oh, what's that? And you?
Can I just say, I did log a not parkrun this week. Yay. So I did it because it's a year since Rolf Neugebauer passed away. And so we were all logging not parkruns and putting the time of 59:59, because Rolf always used to be on timer at Woodhouse Moor Parkrun, always. And if anything went wrong, he'd always say, half joking, of course, just give him 59:59. So everybody, or not everybody, lots and lots of people from Woodhouse Moor Parkrun logged not parkruns with 59:59 this week for Rolf. So I did log a not parkrun, and it was nice that I had a special reason to in his memory. So
that's really lovely. There you go. You didn't put that in the notes. That was blindsiding us as well. So thank you, Nick. That's lovely. That's lovely to hear. Right then, Elliot, we'll let you go. Thank you very much indeed. Might see you in 25 weeks' time, if not before, for a little bit of down count if I can manage to convince you to come on. But I'm going to remove you now. Don't forget to stop the audio and lob the audio over to us shortly afterwards, because he's been recording on his phone too for us. So you'll be hearing this in nice, clear definition audio later on. Right. Love to you, Elliot. Take care. See you soon.
Thank you. Thanks, bye.
Thanks,
there you go. Lovely, Elliot. Right. Moving on. Stay with us, guys. We'll be over soon. So I say we've got
like
soon.
8 minutes before the people who want to watch Bake Off need to go into +1.
Yeah, exactly. Now I could do that easily. However, you've written another monologue. What did you do at the weekend, Nicola? Try and keep it brief.
The whole weekend, right? On Parkrun morning, I was at the first running of Al. It's a bit longer than I thought it was. Parkrun. I made the mistake of letting Al plan our hilly, muddy parkrun. So we ended up running on super hard trails and doing almost 5 miles, which was great for Al because he'd been at work all week and he fancied the exercise. But it was less good for me because I'd done a 14-mile trail run the day before. So could have done with a 5K parkrun. Total humble brag. Do you like it?
Sorry, this is what usually happens, guys. I just sit here and just let her rattle on, not really paying attention to it. She's basically reading her diary entry, which is not what I asked for. I wrote in the notes, keep it brief. She just blatantly, blanketly ignored me. What are you going? Yeah, humble brag. Yep, it's something that's about humble brag and running 14 miles. Okay, yeah, carry on.
Okay, you'll like the next bit, though, because it's about somebody insulting me. So
I like to run. Oh, yes.
Our run was really, really good. We got totally blown inside out by the wind, which was invigorating. And it was also invigorating to be screamed at for several minutes by a very angry dog owner. So Al's dog and his dog were both off the lead and they had a bit of a play fight. And this man lost the plot. He was furious. He threw rocks and sticks at poor Bluey dog, Al's dog. And he kept yelling and pointing at me, despite me telling him like 100 times that I don't own a dog and the dog belongs to Al. But Al's in pretty good shape. So I was obviously a better target for him. And then he'd sworn at me loads and called me 100 different names. So I told him, I need to not swear here. I told him that he had small tallywhacker syndrome. Because that's obviously why he was attacking me.
The term used for a certain thing, which I remember mostly from Porky's, the 1980s movie, which I loved watching that when I was growing up. Oh, hang on a minute, I'm just getting my parents in trouble. I just realised shouldn't have really watched Porky's the age I did, but maybe that's had a drastic effect on my love for innuendo. But yes, Tallywhacker. Hi, I'm Polly, and I just love. People who know that scene will know what I'm referring to. Sorry, carry on.
I had to quickly switch back over to StreamYard because I wanted to see what weird faces you were doing while you did that funny voice.
I'm Polly and I just love. And everybody's seen the film. I cannot say what it says in the film.
It's a bit disturbing watching you do that voice. I'll go back over to the show notes. Anyway, the reason that
this voice just sounds like it's oh my goodness, what's his name? I'm so high, Tyler from South Park.
How do you mute the pilot?
Where's
the mute button?
There's also Mr. Hanky. Mr. Hanky.
Yes, that's who I was thinking.
It's the same. It's the same voices. So, howdy ho. That's what you do. Merry Christmas, everybody. Howdy ho, neighborino.
If you're carrying on, I'm just going to stay on StreamYard to think, what weirdo, and look at you. Right, back to the show notes. So the reason...
The abuse. Sorry, yes, the abuse. Yeah.
The reason that I put this in the show notes, because I probably wouldn't normally, it's not very park runny, is it? You know, shouting at people. The reason I put this in here is because his reply made my entire weekend. So because he was shouting at me and I said he had small tallywhacker syndrome, he said, well, you've got a small tit syndrome.
Did you actually say that properly? Did you actually say the actual word, the TRT word? I can't bleep you. I can bleep the pod. It is.
That's not swearing. No, it's not. Well, anyway, you should have paid more attention to my monologue in the notes.
How good is that comment? See, well, I can testify that you do. Right. Okay. Fine. So you said you have small. Proving.
Let me read
the podcast. Nicola's going to prove physically from a particular angle, a bit of side angle.
I'm definitely not. Let me stay patient.
I'm going to. Do you know what? I'm going to testify that you do not have those. So, yeah, he's obviously right. So, this is going into very naughty territory. I'm actually near the watershed right now. Is it 9 o'clock? Are we allowed to get away with it?
But anyway, as a runner, it's always been my dream to have small boobs because, as any woman with larger boobs will know, they can be such a pain and sports bras. And so this made my day. I found it hilarious, especially from a man in his late 50s, like definite incel. But they seem to laughing because, oh my goodness, it made my week. But do you know what? I haven't shouted at anyone in absolutely ages. And do you know what? It was amazing. I felt so much better for having a blazing row.
Mm-hmm.
Dun, dun, dun. What's happening to me? COVID is changing me. So I wondered whether during these crazy times we should kind of pair up and have a bit of like a fake argument, like debating society on steroids where shouting is encouraged, because I honestly felt so refreshed for just getting some proper anger out. So that's homework for you and Bev, I reckon. So do you think you can do that and then report back next week?
No, not going to do that. It's basically, this is just your therapy session. Just tell us what you did very briefly.
No, I think you should try it.
No.
Yeah, but you should try it. I'm not joking. When did you last properly shout at somebody?
Your potato internet apparently covered over the naughty swear word that I consider a swear word that you don't think is a swear word. So that's quite clever. That's quite good.
No, have I got potato internet?
No, you did at that particular moment, just for a small amount.
The internet gods were like...
It knew that you were going to cause controversy.
Block her out.
When was the last time I shouted at someone? It's best I don't answer that question.
Oh, were you a shouty person? Do you shout all the time?
No, I'm not a shouty person. I'm so much more chill than I was, say, 20 years ago. No, I'm not. But I do.
Don't shout at me.
I ranted.
You shouted at Dolly last week or the week before, didn't you? I'm seeing a pattern.
No, I look. My lovely floof is here, sat on my lap. I'm not going to come out of this looking well. I shout, but that's about it. I get cross on occasion, but that's my way of venting. the fact that you bottled it up to the point where you were abusing and hurling nasty comments at a member of the public, albeit that he was obviously being a bit of a.
It was totally. He made me very angry because he wouldn't stop shouting at me, and I was like, I don't even have a dog.
I'm glad you've got it. Anyway, have you got it off your chest? You sorted now? Got it off your chest?
Oh, yes? Yeah, no. Done? It's not on my chest.
Right. Okay, fine. Let's move on because I have to do the editing of the podcast. I know you love this patch. Let's get it through to you. When I say keep it brief, and you're just like, right, it's an excuse for me to tell you.
You didn't say that. You said, tell me about your weekend.
You know what I mean? I don't want you to do that. One day you're going to do the edit and you're going to go, yeah, I'm going to cut down what I
Yeah, Prob's not, though.
I'm moving on. I'm not going to out. No, Nick. I'm moving on. Just tell us. The next thing you say now is, where were you, Danny? No
that's
more.
What I was going to say. Why are you making this longer than it needs to be? You massive moron. So, Danny, tell us where you were. Hang on, because this is too giggly. Danny, tell us where you were this weekend. What did you get up to?
What did you just call me?
A massive moron.
Danny's the naughty evil one. You see, when you push her buttons
I was about to say, so where were you? And I said, so where? And you were like, no. Before you say anything else, the next words, well, yeah, that they were, but you interrupted me.
We're losing viewers. This is the thing. We've been keeping a constant audience, and then we drop viewers when people are going through your monologue. I look at the analytics.
No, it's look at the time. Bake Off on +1's just started.
Fine. Where was I? Look, this is how we do it, right? We've been recording for 55 minutes. I don't want it to be more than an hour. Where was I? I was at the 36th running of Made to Sweat Park Run in the usual place in Chessington. My notes are so brief. I did 30 minutes for 5K on Friday, then the following day 29, and not Park Run Day mornings. That's a good direction. Often feels like I'm doing 2 steps forward and 1 step back, or no, 1 step.
Feminine clap for 29 minutes. That's good.
I really had to work hard. I really had to work very hard for that.
Good, and well done.
So the funny moment from the morning, okay. So I go into Churchfields and I'm running around and I see the Ronarsons. The Ronarsons are doing their own thing as a family support bubble. They're going around because they're often in at 9 o'clock. That's what they do. That's their routine too. And I see them. I thought, right, okay, I'm going to try and make James jump, make him scared, as I usually do, just run past and make him jump. So I hid by the playground that's in there, and I was hiding behind this bush, hiding there for ages, listening out for the people to come past. I was there for 8 minutes, looking rather weird, basically expecting police to be called. Like, why is this random guy standing by a playground in the middle of the park, stood right tight next to a bush?
Hang on, what were you like? Were you like poking out from behind the bush, or like?
Just waiting for them to come to my right.
Were you in the bushes?
I wasn't in the bushes. I was tight up close to the bushes to be hidden by them, using them as a shield. And I was laughing to myself because I thought, if I jumped in front of a person, the wrong person at the wrong time, I could end up getting maced or punched in the throat or something. So,
if only Le Dog of Sausage had walked past, then they'd think you were even more weird. Oh, I wish that had happened.
If I jumped out on them and go, boo!
Oh my goodness, imagine.
Yeah. Anyway, so as I discovered, I'm like, they would have come round by now. They should have been round by now. They'd gone home. They'd gone out through an exit on the other side of the park. So I stood there for nothing. All that time, standing randomly. I'm like, why are they? They're not there. So I stood for 8 minutes after my run in the middle of the park by a playground, looking ultra weird for no apparent reason.
2 things. One, why 8 minutes? Did you time it?
Yeah, because I knew that I finished at 9:22 because I started my.
To calculate when they should be there.
Yeah, I was working out the time, and then by 9:30, I'm like, they haven't come round.
Okay.
They're not here.
And then
they'd started early, apparently. That's
and then 2.
Yeah.
So you're there, squeezed next to the bushes. Weirdly, how did you style it out when you realised they weren't coming?
Just went home.
Just walked backwards.
Yep. Bye. See you later. That's it. Okay. Bye. Right. We're done. Please share our mutual love of parkrun with those who share your love too on the Book of Face, on the Twits, on the Gram. Thank you to Lucy and Mark and everyone else who's involved. Email us at withmenowpodcast@gmail.com with any items you may think are worth a mention. Thank you to all our amazing patrons at patreon.com/withmenow. We also have a Ko-Fi page now at kofi.com/withmenow. Some amazing reviews on iTunes these past few weeks from our community. Amazing reviews. I can't express how grateful I am, or we are grateful for that, because it's so easy nowadays to go online and complain about something, but for people to go on and take the time to give praise and credit, it's the sign of the times. It's not really, people aren't really used to it. So if we're getting that from you guys, it really means a lot. It means a hell of a lot. So huge thank you from both of us. Massive thank you to Elliot for coming on earlier. Gifting of mugs. I need to say this as well. So of course, sorry, I know this is a bit of a plug. The mugs. So pretty much nearly all out of these now. I've just spilled coffee on myself. That's clever. Well done, Danny. Just spilled the coffee on me. No. Right. Gifting. We have had people buy mugs and gift to people. And that's really something I wanted to point out. That's really kind of nice. They haven't just bought for themselves. They've gone, I'm going to buy a mug. Can I have it sent to this person? Or I can give to this person. This is the community that I love so much, because they have that element, that essence of giving. Dr. David Irwin, and Mark, do you know what? I'm going to buy a mug, not for me. Give it away to somebody who you feel would see fit to receive that, and I've done that for somebody who's helped us out on the pod, and someone also is going to remain anonymous. They want to remain anonymous. Lovely person who often gives many things. He bought us Ko-Fi Gold for 2 years. He paid for the Ko-Fi Gold. So if you want to pay monthly, you've got to pay Ko-Fi to do that. And this person, anonymous person, did that too. We have an amazing community with me now, and parkrun generally. We really do.
Don't we just?
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful people. Not everybody. I say that. Because it'd be naive to say, because I don't want to become evangelical. I don't mean with me now community. I mean much wider than the parkrun community. It's true though.
Everyone now is listening, thinking, "Wonder if he means me."
No, anybody listening right now, then I probably don't. But you know what I mean. It'd be disingenuous.
Love that caveat.
It would be disingenuous and foolish to say that everybody's 100% lovely and perfect. That's not true. But majority of people, absolutely, amen, by far and away is the case.
Hilarious. Do you know what? Most of the lovely people are leaving millions of lovely comments here, and we haven't done anything with them, so we will be going through them.
We will. No, we're going to do the last sign off. Don't worry, pilot's still going.
Good.
So before we go and say we hope you enjoyed this once again, let's have a look at the lovely comments. Alan Griffiths says bye from Anthea and me. Oh, lovely Alan. Color Griffiths. Tony Mallon is laughing at my not everyone. Yeah, people laugh at truth. That's why. And then Emma Shaw, this community is really growing closer through lockdown virtually, but I feel like I know so many of you now. Absolutely. Amen. Many thanks, Danny and Nicola. Fab work and very funny. Thank you, Elliot, for all you do too. Yeah. So you look lovely peeps. Lots
of yellow hearts everywhere.
Lots of yellow hearts. Don't forget to give us a like and a thumbs up on the emoji reaction comment type thing. And there we go. Right, let's wind this up. What's our outro? Mine is, we hope you enjoyed this once again. Until next week, it's I've got bigger boobs than Nicola from me, which is true at the moment. I'm 103 kilos, Nicola. I'm 16 stone now. My racing weight is 12.
Well, keep putting the effort in and keep doing your 29-minute runs.
I'm too busy. Anyway, I'm too busy sat here writing all the notes, helping you get ready for the live. You just sit around in your lounge chair all day, and I'm sat.
Let me pilot it. Let me pilot it. Will you just let me pilot it? You're so funny, brilliant. Anyway, I'm going to make you do that bit again because it's lost the fluidity now, Danny. So until next week, it's what?
Until next week, it's I've got bigger boobs than Nicola from me,
and it's shout at everybody, but just for fun, from me.
I don't endorse that. And then we grab our phones, and then we hit stop, and then there's an hour's worth of recording.
I have stopped. Did you actually mean to stop? Because I have actually stopped.
Yeah, no, I do absolutely. That's it. That's the pod.
Didn't know if you were just like acting it, and then we stop.
That's the that's the pod thing. Dolly has just got off my lap, which just means that it's gone poof into a massive ball of fur. So now that's going crazy. But that's an hour's worth of pod, which means I'll edit it into an hour or just under an hour.
Oh, look, Susie Bannon says, still ridiculously attractive, Danny. Still such a bleep. Also, though, Let me pilot it. That's so funny. I'm going to remember that.
Graham Hackland, this has been Bloody Ace. You're Bloody Ace, Graham Hackland. Thank you very much. And so go and watch your bake-offs. Go and watch your +1 on your bake-offs. Still ridiculously attractive, says,
I said that already.
but Susie means it. You don't. You're just reading her comments. Actually, you didn't hesitate when I said, do you find me ridiculously attractive on the Yes Vember thing last week? You went, yep, without a moment of hesitation.
Yeah, I mean, I also said, the thing about Al and then the thing about Poppy with no hesitation as well. So I'm.
Andrew Capel, such a good episode. So funny. Thanks, Danny, Njc, and Elliot. You're very welcome, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go. Let's go read through the comments. And Dolly says goodbye to. Oh, look at this. Hi.
Oh, boop.
It's a pink.
I want to boop her snoot. Where are you? Are you that side of?
Yeah, sorry. Right. Okay, then. Take care, everybody.
Poor little kiddie.
Right then. Okay, I'm going to drop it. Well, shall we reduce ourselves, drop out, hit end broadcast? Oh, that's been intense. It's been an intense hour. Ta-ra, everyone. See you soon. Tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.